We were Owen Serrette here. Better known as Canon. I know him as Canon. Owen was one of the guys from Morvant who I used to watch with the Morvant team running down the right side. He's the solo. We're doing the steel band most specifically right now. But we're going to get a little background of Owen. The football, seeing as a football magazine, and showing that he's one of the jewels of Morvant. So Owen, if you want to tell the people your Morvant roots and how we evolved into Trinidad and Tobago figure in terms of the pan, and I'm not too sure what your description is right now, but maybe we could give us the foundation, the Morvant foundation, seeing that it's a Morvant love magazine.
Actually, what has happened is that when you have the background is that we were one of the first settlers for the Morvant, right? Originally, we were from Barcelona Street, Israel. Actually, I was born in Barcelona Street. I was the last person who was born in Barcelona Street then we migrated to Morvant. That was in early 1940s, right? Mm-hmm. I was born in 1940, 16th of December 1940. Right? I was born on 16th of December 1940, and I think after that we moved up to Morvant. Well, there's not much more to tell you about my early thinking, because you know at that time that I went out of a religious family. My mother used to wash the gown for the priest. I'm very religious, and there was always the ambition for somebody wanted in the family, you must be a priest.
Yeah.
And
you were acolyte, not so?
Yeah, I was acolyte.
I remember that.
And I was supposed to be the priest, and my sister.
I remember that.
She's still a nun right now.
Okay.
So that part of my things was spent in monks and Benedict, and the seminary and monks and Benedict. Okay? That was a break in the transmission from Morvant. You talk about Ebonites and solo, Harmonites.
Yes.
I can talk about from teenage serenaders.
Were you part of Teenage Serenaders?
Yeah, I was part of Teenage Serenaders.
Okay. Teenage Serenaders was in between the Ebonites to the transition of solo, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's do the football part first. You were playing for 100, right?
Yeah.
You were one of the younger guys in 100.
Pardon?
Based on the pictures that I saw, you look like one of the younger guys to Ansel Constantine and these guys.
Yes.
Right? So, what was the rivalry like? What were the games you used to pump up for? What was the tough games, the rivalry game for you?
Well, in those days, you had rivalry. I always passed by the Morvant committee and lament the fact that, right now we use our lights. We had to come up from work and practice, and from time we get dark.
Before the darkness, yes.
Before the darkness, we sort of online. Alright? There was an intense rivalry among football groups. You had the Merriman, and the Onward, you had the Blackpool, you had Eagles, you had Manchester, and these are the teams that could come up with. You had the fellows from Chinapoo.
Queensland. And then Upsetters.
And we always had a little kind of more than just football rivalry for Chinapoo.
Yeah.
In those years, just about a little more than football rivalry for Chinapoo, right? I played also with Merriman. I don't remember Merriman.
You played with Merriman too?
Merriman, yeah, I went with Métier and Marquez and all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's before Honved or after?
Before.
Okay. So when you were playing for Merriman all that long? So when you were playing for Merriman, so you played against Honved? Your brother?
Yeah, yes. And when Honved, we never knew, I think it's Ansel Constantine.
That's right.
Came up with the name Honved, right? And Honved was more or less the senior, in those days, the senior fellows, right? So that if you graduate from like Merriman and everything,
And they say it was City Limers before 100.
The 100, eh?
Yeah.
And we always used to be, you know, sort of, almost thing, where answer get this thing 100 from?
Yeah, he said it was English.
Yeah?
He said it was English. I asked him. Yeah.
The person spoke with answer.
Yeah.
Right? And also you had 100, and then you had side playing in another league.
Burnley.
Burnley. Right? But I wasn't too much of Burnley. Right? Because I played when I left school. Because I started.
What school you went to?
Huh?
What school you went to?
Army school once I ran.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I went to work in the post office. Robbie Greenwich, the manager.
Post office in Morvant?
No, the post office, general post office.
Okay. Alright.
And Robbie Greenwich was a senior person. Robbie Greenwich from Malvern.
Malvern, right. Right, I remember that.
So I was on his room and he encouraged me to join Malvern. Right?
You played for Malvern?
Yeah, when we read the story of join Malvern. Practice every day, doing it, but then in those days, Morvant had the 5-forward line that represent Trinidad.
That's right.
Right?
There are some of them, yes.
And in those days, they didn't have any replacement.
Yeah,
Like
straight 11. No substitute.
So it was very difficult to be making Morvant because they have people like Marassa, Clive Dine, Scott Franco, and around big names in football. Okay? So I left Morvant because, of course, I couldn't make the side. Right?
Okay.
And I went to Sporting Club.
I remember it.
Right? Sporting Club was right? And then Sporting Club was the second division. And that year we won the second division. We got promoted to the first division. Right? But actually I left Morvant because I couldn't make the side. I had people like Clive.
Being honest, yeah.
Captain Franco, you know, no Trinidad for a time. Right? So, that as far as that football is concerned.
Yeah.
Well,
how you transition now to the steel band? Within the time, were you playing in Morvant at the time? Were you into football when you, first to begin, did you beat pan with Ebonites?
No, yes, when I started up with Teenage
Could you remember the year? Could you remember the year around what time?
Well, yes, that would be around 1956, like early 56,
okay.
1956, we were up Redwood Street.
Okay.
By Miss Maketa and I'm up there.
Yeah.
Up there, when we were up there first, right? And then we moved down to my Andrew and then down in
Park Lane?
Huh?
Park Lane?
No, not Park Lane. I'm teenager and then moved on to...
Oh, teenage?
Teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get the period of Ebonites, you reach the period of those days, you reach, right? When Ebonites was in Park Lane at the time, right?
Yeah.
Right, we played with Ebonites. And
how long you played with Ebonites before the whole demise and the transition to
I
solo?
played with them before about 5-6 years because in 1966, and then I moved over to solo Harmonites.
Okay.
Yeah,
who was the captain of Ebonites at the time? Ebonites.
Ebonites at the time?
Yeah.
You had Merlin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Acosta, Alex Acosta.
Yeah.
You know the name, who else was I?
He was a serious face guy, round features like before Merlin. What's his name? What's Acosta's name?
Huh?
What's the Acosta guy name? Full name?
Lennox Acosta.
Okay. I remember the first guy. I remember the first guy.
Yeah.
So Ebonites' demise came with lack of competition, lack of players.
What happened is that...
What happened for the solo Ebonites thing?
What happened at that time is that Scotland used to play with Ebonites, right? So they used to come up, they had a man called Wonderland from Caledonia. So at one point in time, they were the background of the band. So they come up at one time and come up and they play with Ebonites. And they decided to form their own band. Now what caused the movement, and my particular movement, was not involved.
That's the name I was trying to find. That's the name I was trying to find. Yeah.
And none of them really enticed me to go back, to go to solo harmony. Because at the time, they were not coming into sponsorship. Right?
Yeah.
There was a, I want to say competition, there was a show coming in First Square, where 3 or 4 bands played, and after that we got sponsorship. Tokyo got Karim, Lavantil 17 has got VAT 19, Winding Nimmer to Blue Diamonds, and Solo to Harmonites.
Okay.
There were 4 bands that went in the square at the time.
Oh, okay.
That was in 1965. Right?
Okay.
So the first year Solo Harmonites came out in 1966.
But for young people like me who were brothers and stuff play with Ebonites, we had a little sour taste in our mouth because, you know, when something leave your district, you know, so there was a little attitude towards solo, you know, but then again, solo took off.
I only mentioned the bands, but Ebonites didn't follow back after him, because after that you have, even in solo, when we went with solo, you had Ebonites, elegant Ebonites.
Well, that's when I came.
Yeah. When you had this...
But there was a gap.
Huh?
Ebonites only came out in 70, because I beat in solo in 70 with Saturday Night.
Yeah.
Right, and then 71 we came back in the Savannah and we do the Elegant Ebonites thing with Andre Tanka. Right? But at that time, solo, let's talk about solo as the mover band. Although you were in Caledonia, not so? Up by the junction there. So were you guys feeling that, because we're dealing with the mover thing, were you guys conscious that you were the mover band? Did you guys feel you were the mover band?
Well, not really, at the beginning, because of the relationship with Wonderland and Ebonites. At the beginning, how is it? I used to call all them, no, they call all them over. Caledonia,
Right.
But it wasn't as such a mover band. I was really into, after 3 years of the separation from Ebonites to Solo Harmonites.
Yeah.
Right? And the Solo Harmonites had become a Caledonia band.
For sure.
As distinct from mover.
But you have to understand right now, Caledonia, what we didn't know then is what we know now. Caledonia is starting from Jumanji, you know, going into the second Caledonia. I think in those days we weren't aware geographically because a lot of places weren't developed, right? So now we know what we know now from an official, legitimate point of view. Caledonia is mobile.
One has gone closer to the main road.
Right. But it's Caledonia because it was up the hill. Yeah. Yeah, as you make the corner and you go up the hill. I mean, I know where Solo was, but I think it was Mova, but we just didn't want to feel it as Mova because of the fact of the split off with Ebonites. As I say, me knowing that Solo in the first year or so, but after record, I mean, I came down and beat with Solo was the only ticket. It was the only ticket. You know, as Mover people was the only ticket, so we kind of encompassed that as Mover band, and these guys, all these guys went on.
I got into some trouble, and some trouble with fellas in Canon at the time, when Jacko, right? As I said, the Caledonia, because the transition from Ebonites to Solo Harmonites. Right?
It's almost like you ain't Mova no more.
No, main man, a man who encouraged me, and I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong, encouraged me to come on, and once I said, yeah, the man come on.
And you were still the tenor man.
And they came out, Solo Harmonites came out with a band.
Yeah.
They came out with a band in 1966 with pajama suit. Right?
It's 66,
1966
okay.
Pajama suit. 1967 in grey, 67, and 1960 the only Panama with record. Right? Because it has to do with Scott. Scott was very enterprising, you know, scholars.
Yeah, I remember.
I always had, I'm not saying yesterday I was in Manchester talking about the inspector hand for skull, you know. That's what I was saying. When skull come back, he said, boy, that one go, and come back, he say, come back, we man, I said, and I insisted, no, he come to help and all that.
Yeah.
You know, anytime skull came out, that on him.
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
But it was very enterprising, very enterprising. As a matter of fact, at the time, I used to equate him with Rudolph Charles. I went over to great Rudolph Charles. I used to equate Skull with Rudolph Charles and talk about Rudolph Charles. When Ebonites was pulling up, I went to join Desperados because Rudolph was working for service with me.
Okay.
And Rudolph was the man. I remember when he got Bilambi community, they were still going with Harmonites and Bilambi community instead of coming up here, right?
That's right.
And that's how I managed to go. When even when Rudolph told me that, I went to I had a girlfriend living up Fort George. And you know, one of the United States band practicing and honest. So one of the things I wanted to play with this band, that was Pan Am North Stars.
Okay.
And so one of the things I wanted to play, and this band was something was different from all the other bands at the time.
That was a traveling man, that's all.
In discussion with Rudolph, we said, no, you step in over, man, you step in over, send them going and so long.
But you're saying step in over,
yeah? Yes, and building a community.
Okay.
And that's how I managed to go when Solo Harmonites. When 1966 or 67, as I say 68, we won when America.
Yeah.
All that was well. That's why I always win score. And Owen Rodney and that.
Yeah.
Owen Rodney came in 67, late 67.
What?
Owen Rodney wasn't keeping up with the time. Right? And we wanted to look for a new arranger. At that time, the young BJ Master was now coming up. I went to go BJ Master and cause a bacchanal with Skull was at the time, right?
Skull was still in play, although Reno was around? Skull was still in play?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was I bring back Reno, you know. Reno named the man and I bring back Reno.
Okay.
Right? And what happened is that we decided the sponsors wanted to know. So I see this time, I mean, when it's back on, no confusion. If I don't want to open our own band, we would support all here. And that's how we stood up at nights.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. I didn't like that.
Yeah?
I read about that and
That's how we got
it
stood
didn't
up
go
at
with,
nights.
yeah.
We operated for about 15 years, 10, 15 years. And then we kind of joining back to Harmonites again. Right? I was basically a Harmonite, you know, all my love was in Zulu Harmonite.
Yeah.
You know? So when the time came, I want to say, we were having a problem with the side, we had to give up the side, and then finally we went down, and Sikoro, you understand, anytime when Sikoro, when people didn't really have like that, when the park was right in the middle of Sikoro, right opposite people.
Wow.
Well, of course, they didn't like that, you know. And one particular person practicing, so because the speakers are pressing the Indian music outside, they're loud, no.
Yeah. So now you see what I'm saying, how important the belonging is, the question about whether you will move and the support, because although you mentioned the Caledonia, for people like me who was the younger set to come and play with solo, the only ticket, that's why our possession was still mover. I remember when the tent moved, I went over by the junction, and then when I came back, I see somebody driving up the Eastern Main Road and I'm determined that it's nights and solo and all this thing, and I'm going, and I'm out. I can't keep up with that.
Because in
That'll be 69 or something. I beat right there.
1970, when everything was building up, when the Black Power movement was in the Prime Minister, that was called all the steel band leaders. That was just before the April 21st, to a meeting in White Hall. And I was a solo Harmonite. And he promised, he said, what do you all want? And I want to see one. And they said we wanted land, we wanted a place to practice. We came down from in Caledonia because that was too small, and I was in Skull.
Bands were expanding in size that time.
Skull family.
That's when Guinness come down and Guinness came heavy with the number of
We
bands.
came down in, on the junction, and people didn't know, because Eric Williams, he was that, that land, that spot was supposed to be the divisional police station. They ended up putting the divisional police station up in Morvant, right opposite the police station, and we got that land to put up.
Okay.
Like Solo Harmonites.
But then you went on the opposite side of the road.
Huh?
Yes, I came down, you went on the opposite side of the road.
On one side in 1970s.
Yeah, that's the side that I knew about.
Right,
Closer to Fernandez, that was the first side.
And then we went to the
The other side. Yeah.
Where they are now, where the band is.
So what was your position in solo? Was secretary?
Yeah, when I was the secretary, then when we went to New York, I was the treasurer, secretary treasurer. And we came back then when I was the captain. And then
You captain solo?
Yeah, for years. That was in the 80s.
Okay.
1980. I remember that. That was 1980.
And you said that was for a period of time?
I became captain.
Mm-hmm.
In 1980. And then London School came back around in 1984. Right?
So when Skull came back, you relinquished you relinquished the position of captain, or you got voted out, or what happened?
No, we had Manswell at that time was the manager. Manswell was the manager, and I was the captain.
Let's go back into the mover thing. Where do you live now?
Huh?
Where do you live now? Where do you reside?
I now live in
Digger Martin. You frequent mover because you mentioned the fact that you pass through and see the lights. So what do you think about the lights versus activity or non-activity? What's the sentiment? What do you think about your hometown?
Well, of course, movers transformed drastically. In the sense that it's not the mover that we knew before, when I started. As a matter of fact, we had a certain affiliation with mover in that. I was had this when I met my wife.
Okay.
You know, this is our quarrel, everything we use mover. Somebody do something, if I move on, one get in the captain outside, you want to move on.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, and you know, so every all the move people stick together, that kind of thing, right? When the place transformed, and even with all the nakedness of the crime and the
negativity.
It's not really more Papa, you know. In the outskirts, it's up in things, when they place him, when the other place, it's up in Chinapu and it's up in.
Okay.
What we knew as Bobo.
Well, let me tell you, right now in the interview, we're going to have to go into this because you have said it now on record without being asked. Mavis said it, Bill Trotman said it, the identical words. I interviewed people from Chinapu with the perception that people in Mova don't think they're from Mova and stuff. And the whole interpretation is Chinapu and they're the outskirts, but they're still part of Mova. Now, and now doing the interviews about Mova, I'm going to have to write it the way it actually was and is, in that become Mova's, and still say started with Tapana Street and Cicada Street and start expanding, because I even see my street housing expand. And I'm not as old as you guys. I think accepting, as we see in the world, accepting new people and new things is kind of tough. And if it doesn't mesh, the little perception of bias is there. But I think this sport into this type of...
We had that kind of camaraderie with the sports, and always went to play in Savannah, and there's a hand signs of all.
You're right, because you mentioned the team from Chinapu. Yeah.
Including Chinapu. including to the pool.
So you think we need, you think we, yeah, we think, I knew so. I played against so. So you think that is needed? You think that is something needs to be brought back, and you have any idea how that's supposed to be implemented?
Difficulty on the reasons, I mean,
Well, but everything is difficult. We
well,
can't give up.
I don't want to bash the young people as such as now. When people of my age and everything, always blame the young people. But it's difficult. I think there was more than one attempt to bring back, especially football. I mean, they're not a cricket team, what do we have?
Well, I see they build the pitch and they're doing things.
Yeah.
But you see, you don't have the support of the community, even in talking. If the kids and the youth is really the whole thing, you know, because I just mentioned to you, and you seem to be exhausted with ideas of how we can make it work. But we had to make it work with the youth.
Yeah, but you talk about the youth, as far as the Steve Banners concerned. The youth are now much more talented than us, you know. Much of the young people are much more, and still are much more
That's
talented.
nice to know.
And what is happening now, a lot of the young people are being musically literate. I used to learn to play piano, watching a man at my road, and you had to show me what to play, and I remember that. But now, all of them, most of them musically literate, going to university, studying, doing music.
They get the doctorate from it.
Yeah, so that is one thing I would put in your favor, of the young people. I have that in their favor. They how to put it, much more advanced musically than we were. Okay? And
so you have any recommendations? As I said, I mean, it was going.
Part of the reasons, and one of the people always put it forward, is the settlement of people from the other islands who come and settle
In the pockets.
and they come and settle in Morvant and whatever and it's their children and their children goes on the crime, you know. Their children and their children and the people, they have no affiliation, they have no feeling for things, they just, you know, that goes on the crime. And until you get them, this is a 20-year plan. You have to forget these, even the 60-year-old and 50-year-old, you have to forget them now. And then work at a 20-year plan from cradle right up, and then you would have what you want. Because as you say, the whole was a beautiful place. You have when I still so that we had to start.
So it's a 20-year plan, but where do we start? Where do we start in this 20-year plan?
And what a better instrument to start or to do it is the steel band. I think the steel band, we have the steel band, both country and sports, not steel band alone, country and sports. Like I'm not until you have Morvant.
Okay, I can.
I want to be related because you're looking for when the company center, and this is what the steel band was going down. And this where everybody come together and interact and you know what I mean.
So you're aware that Ebonites is starting to do something? I think your brother, or one of your brothers or somebody is part of the committee.
Canon.
And Clemmy.
The steel band.
Yeah, they're trying to bring back the Ebonites and stuff, you know. But of course they need younger. They could only have the sentiment, you know, like they can't log it, you know. So I want to hear from you who's still functioning even in your field. You know, I guess if you're in right now your title is, this position you hold here now in your office is, the title you're holding is Pan or Carnival? Just General Carnival. And how you got into We didn't cover that, you know, how you got into the carnival now, which is bigger and bigger picture you're going in now, you know.
I was born to be going,
Right.
And when I retired, I was brought in here to do assist with the management aspect of carnival. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I had different positions here.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, let's go to 14 months of manager, resource manager. Now I'm a warehouse manager.
Okay.
Right? I'm in an official position now as a warehouse manager. Because sometimes now we're experiencing difficulties, there will be some problems in the warehouse, and managing the warehouse, and when they were going, the warehouse would be empty, you know, time plan. The culture and the sports put up together, and I try and build from there, and I think after 20 years, 90, 20 years.
Yeah. Now for your personal achievements now, you were customs? You were customs officer? Post office. And you move up in the ranks in the post office? What's your portfolio with the post office? From where to where did you reach in the post office?
Well, I went to university in 1971.
Which university?
73.
Which university?
And public administration.
What's the name of the university?
Yeah?
What's the name of the university?
Mona. University was in Mona.
Okay.
Right? And then when I came back, we did the organizational management program, and they invited me to come to the organizational management division in Prime Minister's office. Right? On the division in Prime Minister's office, and I stayed there until my retirement.
Okay. Educational background from primary.
Yeah, when I went to St. Dominic's Miss Francois Private School in Morvant. Miss Francois, Morvant RC School, and the Rosary was also because I went back to live in Bonaparte, I went back down Mazzano Street to live. I went to Rosary, spent some time on Belmont Intermediate, and then the Army School, Mount Severny.
I want to thank you for giving me the time, and it's always nice. From the time I know how to do the panting, I tell myself Canon is the guy.
Well, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, because I have always said part of our downfall, our meaning, Trinidad, Black, is that we do record our history. That's one good thing you can learn from this whole thing. You know, it's kind of with history.
Yeah.
They have a profession from young age until whatever.
Yeah.
But they always keep it. Yeah, what happened is that